Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to dive right in, so make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and let's get started. The 1935 Lincoln Wheat Cent, also called the 1935D Lincoln Penny when minted in Denver, is a classic coin from the United States with a rich history tied to America's early 20th century economy and numismatic legacy. This coin, made primarily of copper, is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series that was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Below is a full detailed explanation of the 1935D Wheat Penny and its characteristics, composition, history, and collectible value, presented in an in-depth narrative form. Full historical and numismatic description, 20-minute reading version. The 1935 Lincoln Wheat Cent holds a special place in U.S. numismatic history as part of a series that bridged two major eras in American coinage, from the early copper-based designs of the 1900s to the wartime alloy changes of the 1940s. Struck during the Great Depression, this coin reflects not only artistic craftsmanship, but also the economic hardship and resilience of the nation during one of its most challenging decades. The obverse front of the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This was the first time a real person, especially a U.S. president, had ever been featured on a circulating American coin. Brenner's design captured Lincoln's thoughtful and dignified expression, symbolizing honesty, unity, and strength. The legend "In God We Trust" arches above Lincoln's head, a motto first adopted for coins during the Civil War and officially standardized in later years. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, signifying the nation's core value. The year of minting, 1935, appears on the right side of the portrait, and beneath it sits a small mint marked D for Denver, when applicable. Coins minted in Philadelphia that year bear no mint mark, while Denver coins display the D clearly below the date. The reverse back design of the coin is equally symbolic. It features two stalks of wheat curve along the left and right borders, hence the name Wheat Cent or Wheat Penny. Between the two stalks is a large inscription 1 cent, denoting the denomination, and beneath it, the words United States of America are proudly displayed. Above the denomination appears a traditional Latin phrase, e times pluribus times unum, meaning out of many, one. This motto reflects the unity of the states forming one nation, a central ideal of American democracy. The composition of the 1935D Lincoln Wheat Cent is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a standard alloy used for most Lincoln cents until 1943. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19 millimeters, and features a plain, smooth edge. Because of its high copper content, many 1935 cents display a natural reddish-brown tone when well preserved, though circulation often results in darker brown hues due to oxidation over time. The Denver Mint produced 47 million of these coins in 1935, while the Philadelphia Mint struck around 245 million. Without a mint mark. There were no 1935 San Francisco cents minted that year. Denver's output, though smaller, still made the 1935D penny relatively common in circulation. However, coins that have survived in high-grade condition, especially mint state red MSRD specimens with original luster, are now highly collectible. From a historical perspective, the 1935D penny circulated widely during the mid-1930s, a time when the U.S. economy was slowly recovering from the Great Depression. These coins often passed through countless hands, buying basic necessities, newspapers, and other small goods. Because pennies were heavily used, many examples became worn, making uncirculated survivors rarer and more desirable to collectors today. In the numismatic market, the value of a 1935D Lincoln Wheat Cent depends heavily on its condition and color grade. Well-worn examples in good G4 condition are usually worth only a few cents over face value. However, coins graded extremely fine EF40 can reach values between $1 and $2. The true value emerges in higher grades. Mint State Red, MS65, coins can be worth $50 to $150 or more, depending on visual appeal, toning, and luster. Some pristine, certified gems have sold at auction for hundreds of dollars, especially when they exhibit a sharp strike and minimal spotting. Certain errors and varieties of the 1935D penny can make it significantly more valuable. Examples include double die obverses, DDO, where inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly doubled, or repunch mint marks, RPM, where the D was stamped more than once. Such errors are rare and can dramatically increase the coin's desirability, sometimes fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars among specialized collectors. Another appealing aspect of the 1935 Lincoln wheat cent is its historical continuity. The coin represents a midpoint between the early 1909 issues, which bore the designer's initials VDB at the bottom reverse, and the later 1940s and 1950s coins that transitioned toward the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. Thus, the 1935 cent reflects both the enduring popularity of the Lincoln design and the evolution of American coin artistry through the mid-20th century. From a collector's perspective, owning a well-preserved 1935D wheat cent is like holding a small piece of the Depression-era United States, a tangible artifact of perseverance, hope, and craftsmanship. Each coin carries with it stories of the countless Americans who use it in daily life, from factory workers to farmers, embodying a nation's shared struggle and endurance. In summary, the 1935D Lincoln wheat cent remains one of the most beloved small-denomination coins ever struck by the United States Mint. Its combination of historical significance, beautiful simplicity, and the enduring image of Abraham Lincoln make it a timeless collectible. Whether admired for its copper glow, sought for its rare varieties, or valued as a symbol of American resilience, the 1935 penny continues to captivate both new and seasoned collectors nearly a century after its creation. The 1971 Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, popularly known as the 1971 Lincoln penny, is one of the most recognized and widely circulated coins in American history. Bearing the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, In God We Trust, and Liberty, this coin represents not only a piece of monetary value but also a deep reflection of the United States' heritage, ideals, and historical continuity. The 1971 penny belongs to the Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed originally by Victor David Brenner, the obverse design featuring Lincoln's portrait has remained in use for over a century, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. The reverse design, however, was changed in 1959, from the wheat ears design used from 1909 to 1958 to the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which continued through 2008. Thus, the 1971 cent proudly displays a Lincoln Memorial on its reverse, marking it as part of this mid-century iconic era of U.S. coinage. Obverse design, Abraham Lincoln's portrait. The front, obverse, of the coin features a right-facing bust of President Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor D. Brenner. Lincoln's face is rendered with dignity and fine detail, symbolizing honesty, courage, and leadership during one of America's most challenging periods, the Civil War. Above his head is a national motto, In God We Trust, adopted officially in 1956 but appearing on the Lincoln cent since its debut in 1909. The word Liberty is placed to the left side of the portrait, reflecting one of the foundational principles of the United States. The date 1971 appears to the right of Lincoln, indicating the year of minting. Beneath the date, you may find a mint mark, either D for the Denver Mint, S for San Francisco, or no mark at all for coins minted at Philadelphia. Each mint played a significant role in American coin production that year. 1971, no mint mark, Philadelphia Mint, 1971D, Denver Mint, 1971S, San Francisco Mint, which struck both proof and business strike coins. Reverse design, the Lincoln Memorial. On the reverse back side of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparro, stands a Lincoln Memorial, the monument dedicated to Abraham Lincoln and located in Washington, D.C. This memorial design replaced the wheat ears reverse in 1959, the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The words United States of America curve across the upper rim, symbolizing the unity of the nation. Beneath this, the Latin phrase E pluribus unum translates to out of many, one, a motto expressing the idea that the United States was formed as a single nation from many states and diverse peoples. Below the memorial, the denomination 1 cent is boldly inscribed. The Lincoln Memorial itself is finely detailed. With careful observation under magnification, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, just as in the real monument. This small artistic detail makes the design one of the most beloved among collectors and historians alike. Composition and specifications. The 1971 Lincoln cent was struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc, the same composition used from 1962 until 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-plated zinc planchette due to rising copper prices. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Thickness, 1.52 millimeters. Edge, plain, smooth, without reading. Because it was struck in the traditional copper composition, the 1971 penny has a distinctive reddish-brown tone when uncirculated, though circulated coins often develop darker brown or even greenish patinas over time due to oxidation. Mintages and variations. The total minted for the 1971 Lincoln cents was enormous, as pennies were, and still are, the most widely produced denomination in the U.S. Philadelphia, no mint mark 1,919,490,000 pieces. Denver, D2 $911,045,000 pieces. San Francisco, S 525,133,459 pieces, including proofs and circulation strikes. This makes 1971 one of the high mintage years, meaning that most 1971 pennies are common in circulation. However, proof coins from San Francisco, especially in perfect condition, are highly collectible. Errors and varieties. Collectors often look for special varieties and minting errors. Notable 1971 penny varieties include 1971 Double Dial Buzz, DDO, one of the most famous varieties, where the inscriptions Liberty and I N God We Trust appear double due to a misalignment during hubbing. These coins are rare and can be worth hundreds of dollars, especially in higher grades. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and die cracks are other collectible error types from this year. Historical and cultural significance. The 1971 penny represents a transitional era in American coinage and history. The U.S. was moving through a period of social change, the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and the dawn of a new technological age. Yet, amidst this, the nation continued to mint a coin honoring the man who preserved its unity, Abraham Lincoln. Every detail of this coin echoes American ideals. The motto "In God We Trust" for faith, liberty for freedom, and E pluribus unum for unity. The image of Lincoln reminds citizens of the strength of democracy and moral leadership in times of crisis. Collectability and value. While most 1971 pennies hold only face value in circulated condition, their worth can rise significantly in uncirculated, mint state, grades, or they possess special varieties. Circulated, 1 cent to 5 cents. Uncirculated, MS-65 or higher $1 to $15. Proof coins, 1971 S $5 to $30, depending on condition. Double die varieties, up to several $100s. Serious numismatists treasure the 1971 penny not for its rarity, but for its place within the long Lincoln cent series, a coin that connects the early 20th century to the modern era. Today, the 1971 1-cent coin remains a beloved collectible among coin enthusiasts. It stands as a small yet enduring piece of American history, circulating in millions of pockets and drawers, silently telling the story of a nation's journey from its Civil War struggles to its modern achievements. Every 1971 penny, whether bright red from the mint or darkened by decades of use, bears witness to the American promise, liberty, faith, and unity out of diversity. Its continued presence in circulation more than 50 years later is a testament to both the resilience of its design and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose image continues to remind generations of the cost and value of freedom. The 2009 Lincoln cent, officially known as the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial 1-cent coin, stands as one of the most historically meaningful issues in the entire Lincoln penny series. Struck by the United States Mint to commemorate both the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, 1809 to 2009, and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent, 1909 to 2009. This coin bridges 2 centuries of American heritage, artistry, and numismatic evolution. The 2009 penny is not just a coin. It is a 4-part historical tribute to one of America's greatest leaders and the milestones of his remarkable life. Below is a comprehensive, long-form, 20-minute explanation of the 2009 Lincoln 1-cent coin, covering its background, design features, composition, minting process, varieties, and collector value, written in a detailed, flowing narrative style for coin enthusiasts and historians alike. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial 1 cent, full numismatic and historical description. The United States of America has a long tradition of honoring great national figures through its coinage, but no series captures the essence of American perseverance and leadership quite like the Lincoln cent. In 2009, to celebrate 2 centuries since Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced a special commemorative set of 1-cent coins that told the story of Lincoln's life through 4 distinct reverse designs, each reflecting a chapter of his journey from humble beginnings to the presidency. The obverse front of the coin features a timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909. It remains one of the most recognized coin designs in American history. Lincoln is shown in right-facing profile, wearing his characteristic coat and bow tie, his expression thoughtful and composed, a symbol of wisdom, courage, and leadership. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust" across the top rim, a motto deeply rooted in American identity, the word liberty to the left of Lincoln's image, and the date 2009 to the right, often accompanied by a mint mark indicating where it was struck. P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco proof versions. What makes the 2009 issue so distinctive is its 4 different reverse back designs, each celebrating a major stage of Lincoln's life. These reverses were created by different artists and sculptors commissioned by the U.S. Mint and were officially released in chronological order throughout 2009. Keycap won birth and early childhood in Kentucky, 1809 to 1816. Design: a simple log cabin, symbolizing Lincoln's humble birthplace near Hodgenville, Kentucky. The rustic cabin is surrounded by the inscription United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. Beneath the cabin is the year 1809, the year Lincoln was born. Designer: Richard Masters, design, and Jim Lickritz, sculptor. Meaning: this reverse reminds Americans of Lincoln's modest origins, a child born to a poor frontier family who would grow into one of the greatest leaders in world history. The imagery emphasizes the American ideal that greatness can emerge from even the simplest beginnings. Keycap 2 formative years in Indiana, 1816 to 1830. Design: a young Abraham Lincoln is shown sitting on a log, reading a book while taking a break from his work as a rail splitter. His hands hold the book close, symbolizing his self-education and deep desire for learning. His axe rests beside him, representing the hard manual labor that shaped his youth. The inscriptions remain United States of America, E pluribus unum, and 1 cent. Designer: Charles Vickers. Meaning: this design celebrates Lincoln's dedication to self-improvement through knowledge. It serves as a powerful image of determination, how Lincoln educated himself under the dim light of a fireplace, setting the stage for his future greatness as a lawyer, statesman, and president. Keycap 3 professional life in Illinois, 1830 to 1861. Design: a young Lincoln stands in front of the Illinois State Capitol building in Springfield, holding a rolled-up document in one hand, symbolizing his legal and political work. This period represents Lincoln's years as a lawyer, state legislator, and congressman before becoming president. Designer: Joel Iskowitz, design, and Don Everhart, sculptor. Meaning: this design marks Lincoln's rise to prominence in public service. It is a tribute to his honesty, intelligence, and moral courage, traits that earned him the nickname Honest Abe. The Illinois State Capitol backdrop connects him forever to the state known as a Land of Lincoln. Keycap 4 presidency in Washington, D.C., 1861 to 1865. Design: the partially completed U.S. Capitol Dome in Washington, D.C., symbolizes Lincoln's presidency during the Civil War, a time when the nation was divided but determined to heal. The unfinished dome also reflects the unfinished state of the Union during his leadership, which he worked tirelessly to restore. Designer: Susan Gamble, design, and Joseph Menna, sculptor. Meaning: This reverse honors Lincoln's service as president and the monumental challenges he faced, guiding the country through the Civil War, preserving the Union, and abolishing slavery through the Emancipation Proclamation. It represents renewal, unity, and enduring faith in democracy. Gear hash composition, specifications, and minting. The 2009 Lincoln cents were struck in two different metal compositions. 1. Circulating coins, made of copper-plated zinc, consisting of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, weighing 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a plain, smooth edge. 2. Collector, proof, and special edition coins, minted in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, identical to the original 1909 composition, as part of special mint sets and proof sets to honor the centennial heritage. The coins were struck at 3 mints. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark, for proof versions. Hundreds of millions were minted in total, though many have been hoarded by collectors due to their unique historical designs. Gemstone collector appeal and value. While the 2009 Lincoln cents are relatively modern and were minted in large quantities, their symbolism and artistry make them highly collectible, especially in pristine condition. Circulated examples are typically worth face value, but uncirculated or brilliant red, MS-67 and above, coins, especially in rolls or mint sets, can be worth a few dollars up to $20 or more per piece depending on grade and demand. Proof versions with mirrored surfaces and deep cameo contrast are especially sought after. Certain varieties, such as double dies, struck through errors, or off-center strikes, can dramatically increase a coin's value, sometimes fetching hundreds of dollars. Collectors often seek full sets containing all 4 reverse designs from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints to complete the 2009 bicentennial penny collection. Classical building hash historical legacy and symbolism. The 2009 Lincoln 1 cent coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a historical timeline engraved in metal. Each reverse design tells part of the story of a man who rose from poverty to become the 16th President of the United States, led the country through its darkest hours, and laid the foundation for freedom and unity. The use of the motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, connect directly to Lincoln's lifelong pursuit of unity, while in God we trust reflects his moral convictions and faith in divine guidance during. United States of America $1 coin dated 2000p is one of the most fascinating pieces in modern American coinage history. Commonly known as the Sacagawea Dollar, this coin was introduced as part of a new generation of small-sized dollar coins intended to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar. The 2000p issue, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark, represents the first year of issue for this golden dollar series. Below is an extremely detailed historical, technical, and cultural overview of the coin written in long, paragraph-style narration to provide a full and deep understanding of every aspect. The year 2000 marked a new era for the U.S. Mint, which sought to introduce a coin that would circulate widely and be easily distinguishable from the quarter. The Sacagawea dollar was the chosen design after extensive public input and testing. The coin's obverse features Sacagawea, the young Shoshone Native American woman who served as guide and interpreter for the Lewis and Clark expedition between 1804 and 1806. Sculptor Glenna Goodacre designed a portrait, depicting Sacagawea in three-quarter profile with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, resting peacefully on her back. This design was meant to represent courage, guidance, and maternal strength, qualities that linked American history with the ideals of exploration and unity. The word liberty appears prominently above her head, and in God we trust is inscribed to her left, reflecting the traditional national motto. The upper border bears the inscription United States of America, connecting the symbolic portrait with the identity of the nation itself. The obverse also displays a mint mark P just below the date 2000, signifying that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse of the 2000p dollar is equally symbolic and artistically rich. Designed by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., it features a soaring bald eagle in flight, surrounded by 17 stars that represent the number of states in the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The eagle's wings are outstretched majestically, symbolizing freedom and the nation's spirit of expansion and discovery. Around the edge are the inscriptions E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, and $1. The fine detailing of the feathers, combined with the matte texture of the background and the bright golden surface, gives the coin a vibrant appearance. The artist's initials TDR can be seen near the lower part of the design, marking his authorship of the beautiful rendering. The material composition of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar distinguishes it from earlier and later $1 coins. It is made from a copper core clad by manganese brass alloy, giving the coin its distinct golden color. The outer layers are composed of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel. The overall weight of the coin is 8.1 grams, and its diameter measures 26.5 millimeters, with a smooth edge rather than reeded. This smooth edge was chosen intentionally so that the coin could be easily distinguished by touch from quarters and half dollars, both of which have reeded edges. Although the coin was often called a golden dollar, it does not contain any actual gold. The appearance is purely a result of its metallic composition. Over time, however, the golden hue tends to darken to a brownish tone due to oxidation and handling. In terms of production, the Philadelphia Mint produced an impressive number of these coins in 2000, striking 767,140,000 business strikes for circulation, along with additional proof and special collector editions from other mints. This enormous mintage reflected the government's optimism that the new dollar will be widely accepted in daily commerce. Unfortunately, public use of the coin remained limited, as Americans continue to prefer the $1 bill. Nonetheless, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar found a home in vending machines, public transportation systems, and collector sets, making it a lasting symbol of the U.S. Mint's innovation at the turn of the millennium. Collectors often take interest in the strike quality, color toning, and dye varieties of the 2000p dollar. Among the most famous varieties is the Cheerios dollar. Before the coin's release, the U.S. Mint partnered with General Mills to distribute 5,500 sample coins inside Cheerios cereal boxes as a promotion. These coins were later discovered to have a different tail feather detail on the eagle's reverse, an early prototype version of the design, making them highly valuable. Regular 2000p Sacagawea dollars are worth about their face value in circulated condition, but Cheerios dollars can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and certification. Beyond its numismatic appeal, the 2000p dollar carries immense symbolic and educational significance. It marked the first time a Native American woman appeared on regular-issue U.S. currency. The selection of Sacagawea honored the contributions of indigenous peoples and women to American history, creating a powerful statement about inclusion and recognition. The design committee intended the coin to inspire pride in cultural diversity, resilience, and exploration. Even the inclusion of her infant child on the coin's obverse symbolized new beginnings and the hope of future generations. This human element made the coin's artwork stand out among more formal portraits of past presidents and historical figures. The Philadelphia Mint production methods in 2000 reflected advances in coin manufacturing technology. The Mint employed high-speed presses, laser-engraved dies, and improved quality control measures to ensure that each coin displayed the finest details possible. Despite this, slight variations in luster and color occurred, depending on storage and circulation environments. Many coins, when freshly struck, exhibit a beautiful satiny golden glow that collectors prize in mint state grades such as MS65 or higher. The U.S. Mint also released special mint sets and proof coins for collectors, which were struck on specially polished planchets using higher pressure to bring out mirrored finishes and sharp details. Over time, the Sacagawea dollar design will continue to evolve. Starting in 2009, the reverse design began to change annually under the Native American $1 coin program, featuring different images celebrating Native contributions to U.S. history. Yet the 2000p version remains special. It is the inaugural issue, the foundation upon which the later series was built. Its combination of artistry, symbolism, and historical recognition ensures that it holds a cherished place in modern U.S. numismatics. The United States of America $1 treaty with the WWII 1778 coin is one of the most historically significant and symbolically rich designs in the entire Native American $1 coin program. Issued in 2013, this dollar belongs to the ongoing Sacagawea and Native American dollar series, which began in 2009. Each year's design after 2008 honors a different contribution by Native American tribes or individuals to the history and culture of the United States. The 2013 dollar, with a themed treaty with the Delawares, 1778, commemorates the first formal treaty between the newly formed United States government and a Native American tribe, a diplomatic milestone that reflected the earliest attempt at peace, mutual respect, and cooperation between indigenous peoples and the young American nation. The obverse of the 2013 $1 coin continues to feature the classic portrait of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided and assisted the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 1800s. This design, created by sculptor Glenna Goodacre, first appeared in 2000 and became a lasting representation of Native American heritage, courage, and maternal strength. Sacagawea is shown in a dignified three-quarter profile, carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau on her back. The inscriptions on this side include Liberty above her head and In God We Trust to the left, while United States of America curls along the upper edge. Unlike earlier years, the date and mint mark, such as 2013P for coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint or 2013D for those from Denver, are inscribed on the edge rather than the obverse or reverse. This elegant edge lettering also includes E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many, one, and the year of issue, giving the coin a sophisticated, historic appearance that distinguishes it from other denominations. The reverse design is where the 2013 dollar truly shines as a work of historical storytelling and artistry. Created by artist Susan Gamble and sculpted by Renata Gordon, the reverse commemorates the 1778 treaty with the Delawares. The central image depicts a peaceful council meeting between two figures, one representing the Delaware tribe, and the other representing the Continental Congress. The Delaware man, wearing traditional native attire and a feathered headdress, reaches forward to shake hands with the American officer dressed in military uniform. The gesture of the handshake symbolizes mutual respect, diplomacy, and a promise of cooperation. Between them, a peace pipe and crossed tomahawk lie upon the ground, representing the laying down of arms in favor of friendship and alliance. Above the figures appears the inscription Treaty with the Delawares 1778, while $1 is placed below to indicate the denomination. Around the border, the design's texture and engraving evoke the historical setting of the late 18th century, with deep relief and fine detail emphasizing the human connection captured in this moment of alliance. The Treaty with the Delawares, signed on September 17, 1778, holds an extraordinary place in early American history. It was negotiated at Fort Pitt, modern-day Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, between representatives of the Continental Congress and leaders of the Lenape people, often known as the Delaware tribe. The treaty was the first formal written agreement between the newly independent United States and any Native American nation. Its main purpose was to secure the Delawares' permission for American troops to travel through their lands and to encourage them to support the colonists in their struggle against Great Britain during the Revolutionary War. In return, the U.S. government promised friendship, protection, and recognition of Delaware sovereignty. One of the treaty's most remarkable clauses even proposed the possibility of creating a Native American state within the Union under Delaware leadership, an idea that reflected early hopes of coexistence and political partnership between Native peoples and the new republic. In reality, however, those promises were never fulfilled. Within just a few years of the treaty's signing, tensions, broken promises, and westward expansion led to renewed conflict between settlers and native tribes. The ideal of peaceful cooperation faded as the U.S. government pursued policies that marginalized native sovereignty. Yet the 1778 treaty remains an enduring symbol of early diplomacy and the potential for mutual respect that once existed between two nations. The 2013 dollar coin's design captures this hopeful moment in history, preserving the spirit of goodwill that both sides sought, even if later history did not honor it fully. From a technical standpoint, the 2013 treaty with the Delawares $1 coin follows the same specifications as other modern Native American dollars. It has a smooth edge with edge inscriptions, a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, a thickness of 2.0 millimeters, and weighs 8.1 grams. The coin's composition features a pure copper core with an outer layer of manganese brass, consisting of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel. This gives the coin its signature golden hue, which distinguishes it from silver-colored denominations like quarters or half-dollars. Although the coin is often referred to as golden, it contains no actual gold. It was produced at both the Philadelphia P and Denver D mints, with limited quantities also struck in San Francisco S as proof coins for collectors. Circulation strikes have a soft satin finish, while proof versions exhibit deep mirror fields and frosted raised details, enhancing the visual depth of the design. The production quality and artistic craftsmanship of this coin were highly praised among collectors and historians alike. The handshake scene is deeply detailed. Every fold of fabric, every texture of hair, and even the expression of solemn mutual respect on the figures' faces are carefully rendered. The coin's golden surface complements the design's themes, evoking the warmth of peace and the light of hope in early American diplomacy. For collectors, the 2013 Native American dollar represents both an artistic masterpiece and a historical artifact. It embodies the values of friendship, cultural exchange, and unity that were envisioned during the Revolutionary era but not fully realized. From a numismatic perspective, the 2013 dollar was issued in moderate quantities, primarily for collectors rather than for general circulation. The Philadelphia Mint struck about 1.82 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced around 1.82 million as well. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint released approximately 1.3 million proof coins. Circulation quality examples are common and typically worth around face value in uncirculated condition, but higher grade proof and mint set coins can carry small premiums depending on their preservation and luster. More importantly, the coin's historical theme makes it one of the most sought-after pieces among collectors interested in Native American history and early U.S. treaties. The story behind the coin transcends its material value. The Delaware tribe, originally residing in the northeastern United States, played a significant role in early colonial diplomacy. They were known for their advanced political organization, agricultural practices, and their long-standing efforts to coexist peacefully with European settlers. The Treaty of 1778, while later betrayed by the U.S. government, remains a testament to their willingness to engage in good-faith diplomacy and to envision a shared. The United States of America $1 Wampanoag Treaty 1621 coin is one of the most historically meaningful and culturally profound designs ever issued under the Native American $1 coin program. Released in 2011, this coin honors the first peace treaty between the Wampanoag people and the Pilgrim settlers at Plymouth Colony, a landmark event that symbolized an early moment of diplomacy, friendship, and coexistence between Native Americans and the newly arrived English colonists in North America. While the historical relationship between Native Americans and settlers would later become strained and tragic, the 1621 Wampanoag Treaty represents an initial gesture of trust, alliance, and shared survival that laid the foundation for one of the most famous cultural encounters in early American history. The 2011 coin immortalizes that fragile yet hopeful moment in stunning artistic and symbolic form. The obverse of the 2011 Native American $1 coin continues to feature the iconic image of Sacagawea, first introduced in 2000. Sculpted by artist Glenna Goodacre, this portrait of the young Shoshone woman, who famously guided and aided the Lewis and Clark expedition, has become one of the most beloved modern U.S. coin designs. Sacagawea is shown in three-quarter profile with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, wrapped securely in a cradle board on her back. Her expression is serene yet strong, symbolizing courage, wisdom, and the enduring strength of Native American women. Around her portrait appear the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, while United States of America curves gracefully across the upper rim of the coin. Unlike older coins, the date, mint mark, and the motto E Pluribus Unum are not on the obverse or reverse but are edge-lettered, engraved along the coin's outer rim. This design choice lends a coin an elegant, metal-like quality, emphasizing artistry and heritage. The reverse design, unique to the 2011 issue, captures the essence of the Wampanoag Treaty of 1621 in a beautifully balanced composition. Created by artist Richard Masters and sculpted by Phoebe Hemphill, the scene depicts a hand of a Native American figure offering a ceremonial peace pipe to a hand of an English settler who extends an open palm to receive it. The imagery is simple yet profoundly powerful. It conveys the exchange of peace, goodwill, and mutual trust that defined the treaty between the Wampanoag Nation, led by the great Sachem Massasoit, and the Plymouth colonists, led by Governor John Carver. Behind the hands are two cross symbols, a flintlock musket representing the settlers' defense and technology, and a curved bow with 3 arrows representing the Wampanoag strength and unity. The crossing of these items symbolizes balance, cooperation, and the mutual recognition of each group's sovereignty and strength. Encircling the design is the inscription Wampanoag Treaty 1621, while $1 appears below, denoting the denomination. The overall effect is one of peace and dignity. The hands, the tools, and the shared space between them form a visual metaphor for coexistence and respect. Artistically, the reverse reflects the U.S. Mint's modern engraving excellence, combining sharp detail with a satin-like finish that brings out the depth and warmth of the coin's golden tone. The historical background of the Wampanoag Treaty provides deep context for the coin's significance. In March 1621, only a few months after the arrival of the Pilgrims aboard the Mayflower, the Wampanoag people, who had lived in the region now known as Massachusetts and Rhode Island for thousands of years, encountered the desperate and weakened settlers at Plymouth. The Wampanoag, led by Massasoit, Usamaquin, were cautious yet sympathetic toward the foreigners, who were struggling to survive after a brutal winter. With the help of Tisquantum, better known as Squanto, a Patuxet man who spoke English, Massasoit negotiated a mutual peace and protection treaty with the Pilgrims. The agreement stated that neither side would harm the other, that each would come to the other's aid in times of war, and that the treaty would ensure safe trade and coexistence. This alliance proved crucial to the Pilgrims' survival. The Wampanoag shared agricultural knowledge, teaching the newcomers how to plant maize, fertilize crops, and fish local rivers, while the Pilgrims offered European goods such as metal tools and weapons. The resulting friendship lasted for several decades and culminated in the famous 1621 harvest celebration, which later evolved into the American Thanksgiving tradition. Though later conflicts and colonial expansion would destroy much of the peace that the treaty had once promised, this early alliance remains one of the most poignant moments in American history, a fleeting but genuine effort at coexistence, diplomacy, and mutual respect between two vastly different cultures. From a numismatic and technical perspective, the 2011 Wampanoag Treaty $1 coin follows the standard specifications of the modern Native American dollar series. It has a diameter of 26.5 millimeters, a thickness of 2 millimeters, and a weight of 8.1 grams. The coin is made with a core of pure copper and an outer layer of manganese brass, consisting of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel. This combination gives it the signature golden color that makes the series so visually distinct, though no actual gold is present. The edge is smooth but contains infused lettering with the inscriptions 2011 E Pluribus Unum and the mint mark P for Philadelphia or D for Denver. Proof versions, struck at the San Francisco Mint S, have brilliant mirror-like fields and frosted raised details that highlight the intricate design. In terms of mintage, the 2011 Wampanoag Treaty dollar was produced primarily for collectors, not for general circulation. Approximately 1.68 million coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and another 1.68 million at the Denver Mint. Additionally, about 1.25 million proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint for special collector sets. Because the Native American dollar program did not see widespread use in commerce, most of these coins remain in uncirculated or proof condition. In the collector market, uncirculated pieces generally hold modest premiums over face value, while proof examples and high-grade mint state coins, MS-67 and above, attract slightly higher interest. However, their true value lies in their historical and cultural storytelling, rather than in rarity alone. The artistic symbolism of the 2011 coin is exceptionally rich. The exchange of the peace pipe reflects a Wampanoag custom of diplomacy, where the sharing of a pipe represented honesty, friendship, and a spiritual bond between parties. The English settler's open hand signifies trust and willingness to enter into peaceful relations. The bow and musket in the background remind the viewer that this peace was not naive. It was forged in the awareness of each side's power and need for protection. The design thus tells a story of realistic hope, peace built on respect and balance rather than dominance. The simplicity of two hands meeting across a shared space communicates far more than words. It is a timeless symbol of humanity, echoed across centuries. The Wampanoag Treaty coin also carries deep cultural meaning for Native American heritage. It recognizes not only a historical event, but also the broader themes of diplomacy, generosity, and resilience that have defined